back once again to Vicious Rants, and of course I'm your host, your YouTube messiah, and often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious, and gonna go over Raw this week. Was in Cleveland, Ohio, and before we get into that, well, going to the normal weeds. Big news that shocked everyone last week. It broke on Tuesday last week. Eric Bischoff officially out. He's no longer the executive director or producer, that's right, the director or producer, one of them, of SmackDown, and now Bruce Pritchard is in his place. Now, Eric wound up saying point blank, he made a statement earlier today, as of today of this recording on Monday, saying that, you know, he never thought WWE was going to be a long-term thing. He thought it was going to be about like maybe a 2 or 3 year deal. That was about it. But, you know, he doesn't regret it. He's happy Bruce is taking his spot. You know, he's moving forward on to bigger and better things. Personally, I would have liked Eric to have stayed on, you know, a little longer, but things are, you know, things happen for a reason. That's all it is, point blank. Now, speaking of Bischoff and SmackDown, let's switch gears and go over last week with the SmackDown Rewind. And it was big highlights from last week. Chad Gable wound up now officially changing his name. He went from being Chad Gable to Shorty Gable to now Shorty G. You know, with the benefit of hindsight, I would like to say that this really shouldn't be much of a shock to me because, you know, you think about it, a couple months back, you know, all the little fuck knuckles that were like to write dirt sheets and all wound up saying, oh, well, WWE filed for a copyright for Shorty G on something, or for whatever reason. My sources tell me that. Yeah, my sources, my credible sources, you know, all them little fuckwads. So, I mean, yeah, we can get mad over it and all, but here's the thing that I'm more so just kind of curious on. I mean, Gable's like only what, like 5'8"? I mean, okay, compared to a guy like me who's 6'2", yeah, that's shorter than me, but 5'8", I believe, is about the average height of the average American male, you know? So, I mean, yeah, WWE has always had that brand of being the land of the giants, so, I mean, if it works, I mean, Gable, he seems, on screen anyway, it seems like, you know, he's willing to go full on board with it, you know, much like Cody did with all the gimmicky shit he had. I mean, the man made an acrylic mask over, he made a mustache get over, he made paper bags over. Now, if Gable has even the smallest bit of that same kind of talent and willingness to work with it, I can definitely see within the next 3 or 4 months people being like, oh yeah, it's Shorty. You know, that's cool. But, yeah. Now, other big news that wound up occurring, they wound up doing an announcement, you know, Ziggler and Rude, they're now part of SmackDown, as well as they did announce that Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross have been traded to SmackDown, and Raw instead now gets trade picks later on down the road. And a lot of people were shitting on this, like, oh, well, what the fuck's the point of the draft? You know, they're killing the creative, it's this, it's that. Shut the fuck up for a minute, fuckknuckle, and listen. Let's just take for a moment. Let's go into kayfabe land, WWE. You know, the draft is it. The draft is real. You know, these wrestlers are branded to this show and this show only for X amount of time until the next draft. You know, much like professional athletes, much like a football player would be drafted to the Philadelphia Eagles for X amount of time. Now, SmackDown, the opposing team, will just say for the hell of it, frickin' Green Bay, they want that. They want a specific person from there. They do fucking trades mid-season. So God forbid, you know, WWE implements a small sense of reality into the trades and the draft. You know, the same people that said they wanted the brand extensions, they want more reality-based content, this, that, and the other. They're fucking getting it, but they're so caught up with their heads up their own ass, sucking Dave Meltzer's dick, they can't see straight. You know? Yeah. Other than that, other big news that did follow earlier today, New Japan announced that they are launching a new branch, New Japan of America. So basically, it kind of feels like they're cutting Ring of Honor out from their deal that they've been having for so long, which I'm not gonna lie, I think that's kind of a bad thing for Ring of Honor, because I feel like they're getting the short end of the stick now between every other promotion that's out there now in the US wise. You know, obviously WWE is its own thing, but between AEW, between MLW, between Impact, yet even though Impact's up north in Canada, it's still, its primary target audience is North America. That's why I'm counting it. You know, Ring of Honor, they're kind of at the bottom, like trying to piece whatever scraps they can, and that's a damn shame, because I freaking loved Ring of Honor since day one. Anyways, now on to the main show. We'll talk about Raw, Cleveland. It starts out, Nature Boy, Ric Flair coming out. Hide your mothers and daughters. The Nature Boy's out. He's hyping up Crown Jewel. And whether you're for or against the show at Crown Jewel, okay, just think about this for a moment. Take your personal bias aside for a minute. Now, let's just say, take it as it is. It's an overseas show. It's a spectacle for an overseas show. Now, if, you know, very much so in the same way they do overseas shows in UK, in Germany, in Australia, Ireland, Spain, Italy, Japan, all that. You know? Now, I'm not going to get into the politics on whether it's right or wrong that they're doing it. You know, we don't do that here. We don't do politics. We just do the straight wrestle. But just the people that get to see that. It's a spectacle for them. You know, because for all you know, there could be some 8 or 9-year-old kid in that arena seeing that show for the first time, seeing wrestling for the first time, and just getting that itch, get the bite, and then next thing you know, be like, that's what I want to do. And then wind up going and being a wrestler. You know? So if that happens, I'm all for it, because I really do believe that can happen at any show. You know? That can happen at any wrestling show, whether it's a WWE or even a little rinky-dink one in a bingo hall. And that's not an ECW, Mark, so before you start getting all pissed off about it, guys. Now, anyways, back to what I was saying. Ric Flair hyping up Crown Jewel, healing it up, shitting all over Cleveland in every which way possible, talking about the Browns, you know, shitting all over them, just whatever way he could. He was healing it, and he had no quarrels about it. Honestly, my biggest worry was, more than anything, Rick seemed like he may have had one or few. I mean, I know he said he wouldn't touch anymore ever again, ever since he had that stroke and that scare, but I'm just saying, from what I saw, it looked it, and that was my big concern. But Rick was hyping up who his last man on his team's going to be. You know, he said he got a big man. He got the man. He got You know, another limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing son of a gun, and then introduced him, and out comes Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre makes his triumphant return finally. Glad to see Drew back. He's been out for the past 2 months with an injury, recouping, you know, and now we got the pissed off Scotsman working Monday nights again. And honestly, I see Drew being the next in line, getting the Universal title. It's just a matter of when, not if. Now, Drew cut a small promo saying on how he's going to be there to whoop everyone's ass and all that, and he's going to whoop Ricochet's right now, and Ricochet is on Team Hogan's, and he's going to do that just as an example to show everyone what's going to happen. So now our first match of the night is Drew McIntyre, Ricochet. Ric Flair sitting ringside watching the whole thing. And Drew pretty much was just powering Ricochet, not going to lie. He was just straight up. He was powering Ricochet the whole time. He was leading the match, you know. Ricochet, he had a good comeback. But like I said, McIntyre, he was leading. He was leading. He was powering. He was being a beast, and I freaking loved it. You know, match came to an end. Match came to an end. McIntyre wound up hitting a Claymore, and then did a post-match beatdown on Ricochet, giving him an Alabama Slam onto the stairs. That had to hurt like hell. And so yeah, our next matchup, it is Aleister Black going up against some random local jobber, and yeah, this turned out just like you'd expect. It was a squash match. Next, we cut Andrade going against Sin Cara, and I'm not gonna lie, it was decent match. It was a fairly decent match. Sin Cara had a nice lead early on, you know. I mean, it wasn't like something you would expect, like, oh my god, kind of shit, but it was decent. Sin Cara, he led early on. Andrade, he was pretty much leading after the break, even though Sin Cara was on the offense. But match ultimately came to an end when Sin Cara, he went to go for a dive. Zelina ran interference, and then, what it was. See, I botched right there. Sin Cara went to go get back in the ring. Next thing you know, Zelina ran interference, wound up arguing, and then Andrade, boom, caught him on the rope, brought him in, hammerlock DDT, 1, 2, 3, that was it, so yeah. And Andrade, I definitely see going places on Raw. I definitely see him going for the US title down the road, so hopefully sometime soon. Next up, we got tag action. We got the Viking Raiders against Zack, Ryder, and Curt Hawkins. Yeah, this is going to go about as well as you would expect. The Raiders pretty much killed them. They got the win doing the experience on to Hawkins, got the 1, 2, 3. And if you listen to Ryder and Hawkins' podcast, the one thing they said, once they got a TV entrance, they do that major mark sign thing that they were saying they'd do that. Did not do that. Not gonna lie. Kind of disappointed, guys. Really was kind of looking to see if you'd do it. Oh well. Next up we got Seth Rollins going up against Humberto Carrillo, and this match came to be because during the Andrade Sin Cara match, they showed Humberto watching. He was interviewed after the match saying, and Humberto was pretty much saying he sees himself as Universal Champion one day. He's going to be a respectable champion, not like an arsonist like Seth Rollins was. Seth wound up calling him out on it like, hey, you had a problem with what I did? Listen, I didn't like what I did, but I had to do it. Sometimes that's what happens. Sometimes that's what you got to do being a champ. Now, you want to be here and you want to go and run hot shot, tell you what, how about you put your money where your mouth is, let's go to have a match. So that's where this match came to be. And this, honestly, I dug the shit out of this because this was a good coming out, welcome to Monday Night. This was a good match for Humberto because it was his welcome to Monday Night match. And, you know, he wasn't getting fed shit. He wasn't being used for cannon fodder for anything. No, he had an actual fucking chance to shine. And for all intents and purposes, he did. Now, I'm not going to lie. I was pissed off at one point during the match because the fans were shitting on it, chanting for fucking Punk, chanting we want Wyatt. Yeah, and then getting disappointed because Wyatt wouldn't come out because, God forbid, WWE sticks to continuity, because if they didn't, then everyone would have shit all over it saying, oh, well, they're not sticking to continuity. But God forbid they do stick to continuity, and you know what happens? People get mad and shit all over it. Fuck them. Decent match, had a nice start. There was good back and forth with it. I dug that back. That's what I dig most when I watch a match. You know, I want to see good, solid back and forth, and this had it. You know, not only that, like I said, Humberto, he had a good chance to shine. Really dug on how he wound up presenting himself and was just going in this match. You know, he's progressed a long way. Just like Dio said, he's come a long way from being in NXT to 205 to now. Just, wow. It was nice seeing him elevating and going up the ladder. Next up, so match wound up coming to an end. Humberto went to go for a moonsault, or no, either a moonsault or a shooting star. I can't remember which one off the top of my head, but wound up going for one of them, missed it. Seth caught him, super kick, and then did curb stomp, 1, 2, 3. So after that, code of honor, adhered, shook hands, left it at that, and it's like, alright, good job, kid. Welcome to Mondays. So now we come to the main event of the night. Street Profits going against Gallows and Anderson. Was originally booked as a trios match, but for whatever reason they decided to just make it a two-man tag match and have their third person to help them appear later on. I'll get into that in a minute, but yeah, now the Profits, they came out, the crowd was eating it up. And actually, now that I think about it, yeah, they were eating it up. They dug the shit out of it. It was fucking good. It was good seeing the crowd getting into it and getting with it on with them, you know. Now, I know a lot of people have said a lot of different things on the Profits, like, oh, well, they're just crime time, just more flashy, this, that, and the other. Whatever you want to take from it. Here's the thing. Does the crowd connect with them? And do they do good and are they good workers? Because if you can get a check mark on both of them, fucking sold. All you gotta, you know, then that's all you really need. Now, good match. Liked on how the Profits, they started out strong. Ford wound up working as the punching bag. Styles, he was outside ringside, teasing and taunting. And Hawkins, he got the hot tag, started cleaning up house. Really good, really good, really impressive for, again, it was a good welcome to Monday nights. Styles wound up trying to go and run interference. Ref wound up going and trying to eject Styles. AJ was arguing it, and then you hear the music and see the Street Profits' third partner. Their third man. Who's the third man? Go figure. We talked about Eric Bischoff earlier, and now we get to the third man. It was Kevin Owens. Owens, he came out of nowhere, popped a stunner on the Styles. Next thing you know, Dawkins slammed down Anderson. Montez Ford gets tag in, gets Froggy. Frog splashes onto him. 1, 2, 3. That was it. So, your winners, Street Profits, first Monday night match. They get the win. All in all, I'd say it was a fairly decent show. I'd give it, if I had to give it a score, 6.5, maybe a 7. You know, somewhere between 6.5 and 7, we'd say. But that's it for this week's show, folks. So don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes. Look for me on my Twitter at Tim Vicious. Also on that Facebook gimmick, Tim Ash. If you're gonna look for me on my Facebook gimmick, let me know you found me on there from here or on my Twitter at Tim Vicious. I don't think I creeped John going. Big ups to my executive producer, Ali Rewind Ben, who provided the music for this week's show. Make sure y'all check it out. It's on iTunes, Spotify, and such. Details are down below. Also, you want one of these sweet Ali Rewind shirts, hit me up and I'll talk to the man for you. Show him some love and support. He's also on that Facebook gimmick, Kie Enriquez. Also, big thank you to contributor to the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. It's a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, folks, do not forget to follow these cool-ass cats right here on the Twitter. Axel Mulligan, Kenny Killer, DSB_IV, Diabolica RA, Sergeant Curry Pants, Gazzy MWP, and my good brother, my homeboy, my good friend Zeke. The man always helps keep me in check. TSUNDERE_ZEEN. Folks, like I always tell y'all, you let me great, you hate me. Fuck yous.